in what was the largest non-combatant evacuation in the U.S. military's history. Since August the 14th, over an 18-day period, U.S. military aircraft have evacuated more than 79,000 civilians from Hamid Karzai International Airport. That includes 6,000 Americans and more than 73,500 third country nationals and Afghan civilians. This last category includes special immigrant visas, consular staff, at-risk Afghans, and their families. In total, U.S. and coalition aircraft combined to evacuate more than 123,000 civilians, which were all enabled by U.S. military service members who were securing and operating the airfield. On average, we have evacuated more than 7,500 civilians per day over the 18 days of the mission, which includes 16 full days of evacuations, and more than 19,000 on a single day. These numbers do not include the roughly 5,000 service members and their equipment that were sent to Afghanistan to secure the airfield and who were withdrawn at the conclusion of our mission. The numbers I provided represent a monumental accomplishment, but they do not do justice to the determination, the grit, the flexibility, and the professionalism of the men and women of the U.S. military and our coalition partners who were able to rapidly combine efforts and evacuate so many under such difficult conditions.
But the support the troops crowd still isn't pleased. No, they're not happy. They have told me that their hearts are broken. We left Americans there. This is bad. What about the billions of dollars of equipment? And holy crap, you would think that the support the troops crowd would be like beside themselves with compliments and applause and standing ovations and singing of America the Beautiful and, pledging allegiance to their flags. But no, they're back to their politics of grievance, always the politics of grievance. And, it's time for us to realize that Afghanistan is over, that it's been over since Donald Trump surrendered us to the Taliban more than 18 months ago. And in the 18 months that he was president, after the surrender that he engaged in, that he did, he airlifted no Americans out of Afghanistan. He took no equipment out of Afghanistan. He took no Afghan allies out of Afghanistan. So he left, and he emptied the prisons in Afghanistan of ISIS fighters and Al-Qaeda, and he left the Afghan government out of his political negotiations at the surrender. What? And they're so unhappy with Joe Biden and our American military. They're so unhappy, I tell you, with the job that this U.S. military did, with the steadiness and the toughness that Joe Biden exhibited, that he showed. It's time for us to get back to concentrating not on third world problems that we created and that we failed to solve in 20 years, but to actually look at our first world problems, which are that our first world is becoming a third world, like a raging pandemic, once in a lifetime storms happening over and over and over again, a failed grid where millions of people are living where the heat index is over 100 degrees without clean water, without electricity, and probably will be like that for a month or more, and out of control wildfires that are evacuating, causing, mandatory evacuations from southern Lake Tahoe. Our first world problems are becoming third world problems, everybody. And the commander there, the CENTCOM commander, General Kenneth McKenzie, he said, look, we didn't get everyone out that we wanted. That doesn't mean Americans. That means Afghan allies. And now they'll have to go through land borders. That's what's going to have to happen because Donald Trump surrendered us to the Taliban. And by the way, The good news for the Taliban is they now have control over their beloved country. The bad news for the Taliban is that they now have control over their beloved country. And their countrymen are now going to look to them to solve their third world problems. Like no food, like no water, same as here. Same as here. Except we have Joe Biden and they have the Taliban. Now, the Taliban can always shoot anybody that criticizes them. This is how Trump would have dealt with it. You understand that? So, Afghanistan is over. It's over unless you're in Afghanistan. And if you care about the people in Afghanistan, do yourself a favor and don't abandon them in your thoughts. Don't abandon them in your research. Don't abandon them when you see what is about to happen in Afghanistan happen. But if you don't care about them and you only care about us, why not put us first? Why not make an investment in us? Why not show your full measure of devotion by getting a stinking vaccination? Why not show your full measure of devotion by putting a mask on your face and a mask on your children's face when we now know that 203,962 children have tested positive for COVID? That is a 5-fold increase over last winter. And it is because you have Republican Taliban governors who are literally preventing the people of this country from protecting their children from a virus. What kind of a sick and I have to tell you, governor death sentence. A judge ruled on Friday. John C. Cooper was the judge in Leon County, and he said that DeSantis's order banning a mask mandate was unconstitutional. It did not pass constitutional muster. And Ron death sentence today has now defied the courts and is withholding the salaries for school board members. Now, what is this attack that we see from American Taliban creatures against school board members? School board members. You see what's going on in this country. You see the American Taliban attacking school board members, demanding that they get their heads on a platter or that they have to go and we'll remove them. I don't know if you're aware of all the stuff that's really, really going on in the school boards, but I've been trying to show it to you. I have been showing you, every school board meeting that I can find that has, cameras. I'm going to show you a quick second from what's going on here in Florida. This is Lee County, Florida. This is unbelievable. This is on the west coast of Florida below Tampa.
Pascagoula's Singing River Hospital.
Oh, that's Mississippi.
We know sunlight is a great disinfectant, and we know when stuff like this is brought to light, it will get fizzled out and die. And I know that's what you're trying to hide here, but I have never been to one of these before. But I will be back.
Okay, this is what they're doing. They're going to school board meetings and they're telling them you're hiding things. You're involved in a conspiracy against us and our children, and because sunlight kills COVID. This is Donald Trump, right? So I'm telling you right now, the same people that did the Tea Party, the same dark money that did the Tea Party, the Freedom Works, the Koch brothers, the crazy lunatic fringe. They're doing the school board stuff. They're doing it. They're organizing these people. They're telling these people to go and threaten school boards. And the school board members are sitting there saying, why are we even doing this? Why are we showing up? Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.